that we would need a 75% reduction in the production of new homes. We're approaching it right now. So that accumulation of new homes will probably end during this year, but it's going to take a long, long time, perhaps several years, because of the option arms that are coming due and the new loans that are being given out that are coming due in 2 years from now, which shouldn't be made. They're making the same mistakes over again. And so we're talking about 2011 to 2012. But going back to this year, I expect that in the fall, the interest rates are going to start to move back up again. I'm noticing money isn't readily coming into Treasury paper as it has. I think they're going to have a problem there because of the horrendous debt and the production of money and credit that's going on in the United States. And that goes for Europe and other places as well. We're not the only ones with these problems. And so it's going to be a bad year. It would have been a lot worse without the $825 billion that's being requested. The following year, again, will be worse, and I'm sure we'll see another stimulus package because they just don't care, because it's the only way they can bail themselves out.
Well, it's going to get worse and worse. Now, those of you who want to know or have a specific question for Bob, let's open up the phone lines, and we'll take about 5 minutes for the phone calls. 800-259-9231, 800-259-9231 if you'd like to talk to Bob Chapman yourself. Here's a chance to talk to the man himself about what is happening. I want to go also back to the 401ks and the people that are vested in some corporation or company. Now, if they are to electively leave that program, that 401k or whatever, they suffer quite a penalty. Is that correct?
If you are under 59 and a half, you are penalized 10%, plus you pay the normal taxation at the rate of what you are paying presently, and maybe a little bit higher.
Okay, we got to go to a break. We'll be right back after this 3-minute break. Stay tuned to the Power Hour. This is Joyce and Dave.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Power Hour. There's a lot of meetings going on behind closed doors, that's for sure. Welcome back to the Monday edition of the Power Hour. Coming up on 55 minutes past the hour, whatever hour you're sitting at. This is Dave.
And Joyce, we got a whole bunch of phone calls. It is loaded. Let's go right to it. Joe in Arkansas, you're on the air with Bob Chapman. Go ahead, please.
Okay, my question is this. Number one, how much longer do you think the United States can afford to keep up these wars in Afghanistan and Iraq and so on like that? And number two, with the United States becoming so deindustrialized, how much longer do you think it will remain a great military power in the world?
Ooh, good questions. How much longer are we going to be at war? I'm sure you have the answer to that one, right, Bob?
Indefinitely.
Ooh,
and it will continue to spend money and have it off budget in order to accomplish that. And they need war to distract people from the economic and financial problems in the United States and elsewhere as well. So I expect a major war in the Middle East, and that's the most likely place. And I think that backdoor to that war has begun with the incursions by Israel into Palestine. And so that answer is they're going to continue to do it, because if they don't, they can't accomplish what they're trying to do.
Okay. And
the second part of the question was?
Since we are so deindustrialized in this country right now, Joe, what was it? Since we are so deindustrialized, somebody help me out.
Well, I can answer the question. The question is this: he's right. And how can we reinvent? How can we help our economy when we no longer make the implements which people buy in our country? 1980, 28%, presently 11%. And the answer to that is what's happening out there right now is other countries are subsidizing industries just like we are with GM and Chrysler. And that's going to lead to tariffs, which is already happening with Russia and China. And I expect that will continue to burgeon throughout the world. And as it does, Congress will be forced to put in place tariffs on goods and services, and that will save our industry.
Okay, let's go to Bill in New York. Bill, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
I've got a question for Bob Chapman. Bob, I've been watching this mortgage crisis, and I haven't heard anybody mention PMI on any of the radio shows. Can you explain to us primary mortgage insurance, that everybody that has a mortgage is pretty much tied into buying? My understanding was that it was set up so that if the value of the house fell to below 80%, that this insurance kicked in. Can you explain to us what it really is about?
Good question.
Well, you know something? I don't have an answer for that.
Okay.
And I just never thought of it.
Okay.
And I will look into it.
Maybe we've got a real estate person.
I can't answer it.
Okay, maybe we've got a real estate person or a financial investor, real estate investor that can tell us about PMI, private mortgage insurance. Good one. We stumped the guest, Bill. Very good. Stumped the host, but that's really not that difficult to do that to me. And I also have a correction. I got an email from a pilot. I'll tell you into this next hour. The pilot corrected me on the engine issue of that plane that went into the Hudson, and I thank him very much for contacting us. Okay, let's go to...
I want to hear about that. Was it an issue?
Dave in Texas. We'll let you know after in the next hour. Dave in Texas, go ahead, please. You're on with Bob Chapman. And the phone number, by the way, we're getting phone calls. What is the phone number for the newsletter? It is 877-479-8178. 877-479-8178. Dave?
All right, Dave, hold on through the break. Short break, 1 minute, 10 seconds. Stay with us. More from Bob Chapman. This is Dave.
And Joyce.
We'll be right back.
We must be brave or be a slave.
Broadcasting from the most confused, dumbed-down, manipulated, brainwashed, and monetarily manipulated country on the face of the planet with the news they hope you never hear. This is the Power Hour. I got you there. Yesterday, Dow Jones jumped up, put on a happy face. Oh, yes, dancing on to economic oblivion. That's what's happening here. Enough of that stuff. We got a ton of phone callers, and we were just going to Bill in New York. Bill, go ahead.
Nope, Dave in Texas.
Oh, Dave, I'm sorry.
Dave in Texas, you're on the air with Bob Chapman. Go ahead, please.
Morning, Dave and Joyce.
Hi there.
I was going to say also Happy New Year's to your guest, Bob, since I hadn't a chance to I've been listening to him, but haven't a chance to catch him by phone in some of his earlier appearances in the year. I have an issue I was going to bring up real quick with y'all. I don't think that the plan, at least as I understand it, that the new administration wants to bring across is likely to work. It sounds more like more government spending, more indebtedness. I'm a strict constructionist. I think the more you take on debt, the more you shackle yourself. It's kind of mortgaging our future. And someone once said there's actually a backdoor term that mortgage actually means death grip, because of the debt control. So basically we're death gripping our future into the international banks if we go further in debt for these so-called stimulus packages. I call them cumulus packages because they're cumulative of the debt but not stimulative of the economy. And I don't think they work. And I don't think in the Great Depression, I don't think the so-called New Deal worked. And I think we're kind of repeating a modern-day version of that. And I think it's actually going to hurt the economy. And I think we're probably going to face economic contraction and deflation, not inflation, at least for the next 1 to 2 years. And barring a major war breaking out, I actually think there's problems with the banking system because there's insufficient capitalization of both FDIC and for the retirees or PBGC as it affects them with their pension plans that are backed by that.
Wow.
And
what is your background,
I'm concerned by all that.
Dave, what's your background?
I'm just a normal member of the Patriot Movement, basically, but I keep up with these issues and I comprehend them as an educated lay person. I'm not a formal economist.
So. Well, excellent, excellent. Let's go to Bob Chapman. Your response, Bob?
Perfect.
Okay, he's right on.
I couldn't have said it better myself. But I do think we're going to get quite a bit of inflation over the next 2 to 3 years, and the problems that are going to be created by these injections of capital are going to come home to roost, as the caller said. And they're not accomplishing anything except buying time and hoping for the best and probably getting another war underway. And they think they're going to escape that way, and we're not going to let them do that.
Okay, thank you very much, Dave, for the phone call. You are right on. Bill in North Carolina, go ahead, please, with Bob Chapman.
Doing?
Hi there. Go ahead, please, Bill.
Bob, I was wondering if you have a 401k at your job site, would you recommend that people kind of hang in there with their choices if they've lost a bunch of money, and then kind of try to watch it go up, and then maybe get out into something different choice they have?
Well, the chances of it going up are very small, and the only way most people can get out of their 401ks is to leave the company. And I've seen a lot of people do that.